The night was cold and quiet on the human colony world called Erebus 4. The wind moved slowly through the tall, dark trees. Most people stayed inside their shelters after sunset because strange things lived in the forest. But Evan Carter, a human engineer and patrol officer, walked alone with his scanner in his hand. His job was simple: check for danger signals and keep the colony safe. Tonight, Evan expected nothing special. Maybe a lost drone, maybe an animal. But his scanner flashed bright red and beeped again and again. A single life signal appeared on the screen. Weak, fading, almost gone. Evan frowned. "This is strange," he whispered. The signal was too small to be a human adult, too cold to be an animal, and it was far away from any safe area. Something felt wrong, but Evan kept walking deeper into the forest. As he moved forward, the trees seemed to grow taller and darker. The forest floor was wet and quiet. His boots crushed dry leaves with slow, loud sounds. Every time he stepped, the scanner beeped louder. The signal was close now, very close. Evan stopped near a large rock covered in moss. Behind it, the scanner showed the life sign. He slowly stepped around the rock and froze. There, lying on the ground like a broken doll, was a small alien girl. Her skin was soft silver. Her hair was a pale white-blue, glowing faintly. Her eyes were half open, filled with fear and pain. She looked no older than 12. She could not move at all. Her legs and arms were stiff, and her breathing was slow. Evan's heart tightened. "What happened to you?" he whispered. The girl tried to speak, but her voice broke into small breaths. She looked terrified of him, but also desperate. She was alone, abandoned. Evan knelt beside her and checked for wounds. No cuts, no burns. But then he saw something worse: drag marks on the ground. Someone had pulled her by the arms and left her here, alone, to die. Evan swallowed hard. This was not an accident. Someone wanted her gone. He touched her hand gently. It was freezing cold. She tried to lift her fingers but could barely move them. Suddenly, a sharp sound echoed through the forest. A branch snapped. Evan stood up fast and pointed his flashlight at the trees. Nothing. No animals. No wind. But he felt eyes watching him from somewhere in the shadows. "Who's there?" Evan called out. Silence. He looked back at the girl. Her eyes widened, as if she sensed danger approaching. She lifted her hand a little, shaking, and whispered something weak. "Please, don't leave." Evan's chest tightened again. She was scared and helpless. He pulled out his communicator and called the command center. "Control, this is Carter. I found a young alien female. Paralyzed. Very weak. I need medical support right now." The radio crackled. "Repeat that, Carter?" "I found an alien girl. She's alive. Send help." There was a long silence. Too long. Then a cold voice answered. "Leave her." Evan blinked. "What?" "Say again." "Leave her. Do not touch her. That species is our enemy. If she dies, it prevents trouble. Walk away, Carter." Evan felt anger rise in his throat. "She's just a child. Orders are orders. Return immediately." The radio went dead. Evan stared at the device in disbelief. His own people wanted him to abandon her just like the aliens did. They did not care that she was dying. They only cared about war, rules, fear. But Evan looked at the girl again and saw her eyes filling with tears. She was scared of him leaving her. She knew she had no chance alone. She tried to speak again. "Please, help me." Barely a whisper, but enough to break any heart. Evan took a deep breath. Rule or no rule, he could not leave her. "I'm not leaving you," he whispered. He slowly picked her up in his arms. She was so light, like a feather. Her body was cold and trembling. She pressed her small hands weakly against his chest, as if holding on to life itself. As soon as Evan lifted her, a tiny red light blinked on the side of her neck. Evan looked closer. It was a tracker device, and now it was active. Someone now knew she was alive, and someone was coming. The forest grew unnaturally quiet, as if the trees were holding their breath. Evan felt something watching him again. The hair on the back of his neck stood up. He turned fast, flashlight cutting through the darkness, and he saw glowing eyes between the trees. More than one pair. Watching. Waiting. The girl saw them too. Her body tensed with fear, even though she could not move much. She knew who they were. They, come, she whispered. Evan held her closer. Don't worry. I won't let them hurt you. He started running toward the outpost as fast as he could. His flashlight bounced. The scanner beeped wildly. The girl's breathing grew weaker in his arms. Behind him, fast footsteps began to follow. Silent, deadly, getting closer. Evan looked back once and saw shadowy figures racing through the trees. Their eyes glowed bright yellow, full of rage. They were coming for one thing, the girl, and they would not stop until she was dead. Evan ran harder, heart beating fast. Branches slapped him, rocks tripped him, but he did not stop. Behind him, a deep alien voice shouted through the darkness. Return the girl, human, or die with her. Evan didn't look back. He only whispered to the girl, I won't let them take you. You're safe with me. But deep inside he knew things were about to get much worse. And the forest behind him exploded with movement as the hunters finally started their chase. Evan reached the edge of the forest with the alien girl in his arms. His breath was heavy, and sweat ran down his neck. The night sky above him glowed with a strange light. He looked up and his heart froze. A large alien ship was slowly coming down from the clouds. Its engines hummed like metal thunder. Blue lights circled under its hull. It was not a peaceful ship. It was a hunter. The girl in Evan's arms whispered with weak fear, They found me. Evan looked at her trembling face. Not for long. I'll keep you safe. But he knew the truth. He was only one human with a small outpost. He had no soldiers, no backup, no support, and command had already told him to leave her. They would not help him now. He ran toward his small outpost, a metal shelter with a locked door, cameras, and a few defense drones. It wasn't much, but it was all he had. Behind him, the alien ship lowered closer to the forest. Bright searchlights began to sweep through the trees, looking for him. The hunters were here, and they were angry. Evan pushed through the outpost door and quickly locked it. He placed the girl gently on a small medical bed. Her breathing was weak, but she was still awake. Evan grabbed the medical scanner and checked her condition. Heart rate, low. Body temperature, dropping. Paralysis, full. Life expectancy, minutes if untreated. Evan clenched his jaw. He needed to act fast. He pressed a button and warm air started to flow over her body. He connected her to a small oxygen mask. Her eyes softened a little. Thank you, she whispered. Evan sat beside her. Who did this to you? Why did they leave you in the forest? For a moment she was silent. Only the sound of the alien ship outside filled the room. Then she spoke slowly. My name, Lyra. Evan nodded. Lyra. Okay. Tell me what happened. Lyra closed her eyes and tears formed at the corners. My people, do not keep weak ones. When I was hurt, when my body stopped moving, they said I bring shame. Evan's hands tightened into fists. They left you because you were paralyzed? Lyra nodded weakly. My leader, RHA Tech, he said I must disappear. He dragged me, left me in forest. He said, no one must know I live. Evan shook his head in disbelief. You're a child. How can they do that to you? Lyra opened her eyes again, full of pain and fear. They fear me, not because I am weak, but because of what is inside me. Evan leaned closer. What's inside you? But Lyra didn't answer. Instead, her eyes widened in panic. Evan, they come. A loud noise shook the outpost. The walls vibrated. Something landed outside. Evan rushed to the security screen. The alien ship had touched down near the edge of the clearing. And from it, 5 tall alien warriors were stepping out. Their skin was dark blue, eyes glowing bright yellow, the same eyes he saw in the forest. Their armor looked sharp and deadly. In their hands they carried long metal spears with crackling electric tips. One of them stepped forward and spoke in a deep, cold voice. Human, you have something that belongs to us. Give the girl. Now. Evan's entire body stiffened. He pressed the speaker button. She is a child. She's hurt. I'm not giving her to you. The alien leader growled like a wild animal. She is not a child. She is a danger. Give her to us, or your base will burn. Evan swallowed. He looked over his shoulder at Lyra lying weak on the bed. Her small hands shook with fear. He turned back to the speaker. No, you're not taking her. For a moment, everything outside went silent. Then the alien leader raised his arm. All units, destroy the human shelter. Evan jumped back from the screen. Damn it! He ran to the control panel and activated the defense drones. 3 small round drones flew out from hidden compartments and positioned themselves around the outpost. Outside, the aliens charged forward, their electric spears glowing. The first alien attacked the door with a heavy strike. Sparks flew. The metal bent. The second alien hit another side of the wall. The whole structure shook. Evan checked the door lock, trembling slightly. It was strong, but not strong enough for long. Lyra watched him with fearful eyes. Evan, you should leave me. They will kill you. Evan turned to her sharply. I will not leave you. I'm not like them. And I'm not like those humans who told me to walk away. Lyra's lips trembled. Why help me? Evan didn't think. He didn't need to. Because you're alive. You deserve a chance. And no child deserves to die alone. For the first time, Lyra's expression softened. A small tear rolled down her cheek, but not from fear. Another violent hit slammed the door. Metal cracked. The aliens shouted outside. Evan ran to the weapon cabinet and grabbed an EMP grenade, a small round device that could shut down electronics for a few seconds. He armed it and kept it ready. Outside, one alien shouted, Last chance, human. Give us the girl. Evan stood firm. No. Then everything happened at once. The aliens smashed the door open with a loud crash. Metal broke apart. Sparks flew. Smoke filled the front entrance. 5 alien warriors charged inside. Evan's pulse spiked. He activated the EMP grenade and threw it. A bright flash filled the room. The aliens screamed as their weapons and armor shut down. For a few seconds, they were blind, helpless. Lyra, stay down, Evan shouted. But then something unexpected happened. Lyra's body began to glow. Soft blue light spread from her chest, moving through her arms and legs. Her eyes shined with a strange energy, even though she was still paralyzed. Evan stared in shock. What is happening to you? Lyra whispered with a trembling voice. Evan, I told you. They fear what is inside me. The glowing became brighter. The air around her hummed. And then, the outpost power flickered. Every light blinked rapidly. Even the EMP grenade stopped glowing earlier than normal. Lyra's eyes turned fully blue. Evan, I cannot control it. Evan stepped closer, shielding her from the aliens who were slowly recovering from the EMP. Control what, Lyra? What's happening? Lyra's voice cracked with fear. My power. It is waking up. The air filled with rising energy. The recovering aliens stared in horror. Their leader whispered, No, no. She is activating. Stop her. But it was too late. The light in Lyra's body exploded outward like a wave. The blue light burst out of Lyra's small body like a storm. It was bright, loud, and powerful. Evan felt the shockwave slam into his chest and throw him across the room. He hit the wall hard and fell to the floor, coughing. The outpost lights flickered again and again, then shut off completely. The room fell into a cold blue glow from Lyra's body. Evan groaned and forced himself up. His vision was blurry, and dust floated in the air. He looked around. The alien warriors had been thrown in different directions. Their armor sparked. Their bodies shook as if they were trying to recover from the blast. They were strong, but Lyra's energy was stronger. Evan turned toward her. Lyra still lay on the medical bed, but her body shook with fear. Blue veins of light moved under her skin. Her eyes were bright like stars. She looked scared. Not proud, not powerful, but but scared of herself. "Lyra!" Evan called out. She turned her head slowly. I cannot stop it. I don't know how." The energy around her crackled like lightning. Evan stepped closer. "It's okay. I'm here. Just breathe." "I am trying, but it hurts." "Inside," she whispered. Outside the broken door, another deep sound echoed, the alien ship powering up again. Evan heard the alien leader shouting commands. "Regroup. Capture the girl alive. Now!" More footsteps. More danger. Evan stood in front of Lyra, blocking her from the aliens as much as he could. He spoke quietly, firmly. "Lyra, listen to me. You are not alone. Focus on my voice." Lyra's glowing eyes trembled. I do not want to hurt you." "You're not hurting me," Evan said. "You're scared. That's all. Just breathe. One step at a time." She tried. Her breathing became slow, weak, but steady. The glow around her softened a little. Not completely, but enough to stop the painful shaking. Then the alien leader stepped inside. His armor was cracked, but he still looked dangerous. His yellow eyes burned with anger. "You foolish human," he growled. "You do not know what she is. You do not know what sleeps inside her." Evan stood firm. "I know she's a child, and you're trying to kill her." The alien leader raised his spear, even though it flickered from the EMP damage. "She is not a child. She is a threat to all species, including yours." Evan tightened his fists. "I don't believe you." The alien leader pointed the spear at Lyra. "Her power is older than your human race. If she wakes fully, she will destroy everything around her. We abandoned her because she is dangerous." Lyra cried out weakly. "No, please. I don't want. Please stop." Evan stepped in front of her again. "She asked you to stop. Go away." Another alien soldier limped inside and shouted. "Commander, more energy rising. We must extract her before she explodes again." Lyra shook her head. No, I don't want to explode." Evan whispered to her. "You won't. I'm here." The alien leader growled louder. "You cannot protect her, human. She will kill you someday. She will kill us all." Evan didn't move. "Then let me take that risk." The room went silent for a moment. Only Lyra's soft, glowing breath filled the air. The alien leader stared at Evan in disbelief. "You would die for her?" Evan nodded slowly. "Yes." The alien leader roared in anger and charged forward. Evan had no weapon. His drones were destroyed. His EMP was used. He had nothing but his own body. Still, he stood in front of Lyra. The alien spear came down, and at that exact second, Lyra screamed. Her body flashed again, but this time the energy was different. Instead of a blast, a barrier of light formed around her and Evan like a shield. The alien spear hit the barrier and shattered. The alien leader flew backward, crashing into the wall. The soldiers stared in shock. Evan looked at Lyra. Her eyes glowed bright but steady. She wasn't shaking anymore. "Lyra, you controlled it," Evan whispered. Lyra breathed slowly. "You protected me, so I tried to protect you." The barrier around them faded slowly. The alien leader struggled to stand, anger burning in his eyes. "This is only the beginning," he snarled. "When she wakes completely, she will destroy you too." Lyra began crying. "No, I don't want to hurt anyone." Evan helped her sit up slightly. "You won't. I promise." The alien leader shouted to his remaining warriors. "Retreat. Call for the containment unit. We return with stronger forces." The aliens ran out of the outpost, dragging their injured. The ship outside roared to life and slowly lifted into the air. Before leaving, the commander shouted from the doorway. "Human, you cannot hide her. We will come back. And next time, none of you will survive." Then the ship disappeared into the night sky. The forest fell silent. Evan closed the door as best he could and turned back to Lyra. She looked tired, weak, exhausted, but alive. "Evan," she whispered, voice trembling. "I am scared of myself." Evan sat beside her and placed a hand gently on her shoulder. Then we face it together. Lyra looked at him with watery eyes. But your people will not help you. You saved me. And now you are in danger too. Evan smiled softly. Then we protect each other. She stared at him for a long time. Then her small hand slowly reached out and touched his. Thank you, she whispered. You are the first one who didn't run from me. Evan squeezed her hand gently. I won't ever run. But outside the broken window, a new sound echoed. A human alarm. A warning siren. Evan looked out and his face turned pale. Human military ships were arriving. They had detected the alien ship, and they believed Evan had broken the rules. Lyra asked softly, Evan? Who is coming now? Evan took a deep breath. Humans. Lyra's eyes filled with fear again. Are they friends? Evan didn't answer, because he wasn't sure. Evan froze when he heard the loud voice outside. Evan Carter, step outside immediately. You are under arrest for aiding an enemy alien. The outpost shook as heavy boots moved closer. Human soldiers surrounded the broken building with rifles ready. Red targeting lights flashed through the cracks of the wall. Evan looked at Lyra. Her small hand held his tightly. Her silver eyes were full of fear again. Evan, humans will hurt me? She whispered. Evan shook his head instantly. No, I won't let them. But they are your own people. They will listen to you, right? She asked softly. Evan looked down. He didn't answer, because deep inside, he knew they wouldn't. Humans feared aliens almost as much as aliens feared humans. They followed orders without asking questions. And right now, the order was simple. Capture Evan. Capture or kill the alien girl. Soldiers moved closer. Evan stood up and whispered to Lyra. Stay behind the bed. Don't move. Don't speak. I'm scared, she said, trembling. So am I, Evan admitted. But we face it together. He placed a blanket over her glowing body to hide the faint blue light. Then he walked toward the broken doorway. The moment he stepped outside, bright lights hit his face. Laser rifles pointed at his chest. Human soldiers, his own people, looked at him like he was a criminal. One soldier shouted, Hands up, Carter. Step away from the building. Evan slowly raised his hands. A man in a black commander suit walked forward. Commander Hale. Strict. Cold. Known for never breaking rules. He looked at Evan with disappointment. Carter, I expected better from you. You ignored orders. You protected an enemy. And you used weapons without permission. Do you understand the punishment? Evan spoke calmly. I saved a child. Hale's jaw tightened. She is not a child. She is a threat. Her species attacked us for years. We don't trust them. Evan shook his head. You didn't see her. She was abandoned. Hurt. Alone. Hale stepped closer. That does not change what she is. Evan's voice grew sharp. And what is she? A monster? A tool? She's a living being. Hale raised his hand. Enough. Step aside. We know she's inside. We will take her. Evan's heart dropped. Lyra heard everything from inside. He knew she was terrified. He stood in front of the door. No, he said firmly. The soldiers froze. Commander Hale looked shocked. What did you say? I said no. You're not taking her. A long, heavy silence fell between the soldiers. Then Hale's eyes hardened. Carter, stand down. This is your last warning. Evan didn't move. He felt fear in his chest, but he pushed it down. If you want her, you go through me, he said. A few soldiers shifted nervously. One whispered, Sir, he's serious. Commander Hale sighed. I didn't want to do this, Evan. Arrest him. Four soldiers stepped forward and grabbed him roughly. They forced him to his knees, hands tied behind his back. Evan didn't fight. He looked at the ground. Inside the outpost, Lyra watched in horror. She tried to move, but her body was still too weak. Evan, she whispered, tears falling down her cheeks. Don't let them take me. The soldiers turned toward the door. Check the building, Hale ordered. If the alien resists, use force. Two armed men walked inside. Lyra pressed her tiny glowing hands on the bed frame. She tried to drag herself backward, but her legs wouldn't move. Her breathing grew fast and shaky. She could hear the soldiers coming closer. "Room clear except for the bed," one soldier said. They reached out to pull the blanket back. Lyra closed her eyes in fear, but suddenly, a voice echoed through the outpost speakers. Evan's voice. The soldiers froze. The commander stepped back. Everyone heard it. Evan was sending a message from the outpost recordings he had set earlier. He planned ahead. His voice played loudly. "Commander Hale, if you're hearing this, listen to me. This girl is not the enemy. Look at her. She's paralyzed. She's scared. She's alone." The soldiers hesitated. Evan's recorded voice continued. "You talk about war, but real strength is not killing the helpless. Real strength is doing what is right, even when it breaks the rules." The two soldiers looked at each other. Commander Hale clenched his teeth. "Turn that off," he ordered. But the message kept playing. "If we kill every weak alien child, then how are we any better than the monsters we fear?" The soldiers' faces softened. Some lowered their weapons. Hale shouted, "Stay focused. She is dangerous. She can explode." Inside, Lyra whispered, "I don't want to explode." The message played on. "She only reacts when scared. She only glows when hurt. She is not a weapon. She is a survivor." Commander Hale finally stormed inside and smashed the speaker with his rifle. The message stopped. "Search the bed," he ordered. The soldiers reached again. Lyra shut her eyes hard. Her fear rose again. The blue glow inside her chest started shaking. "No, please, no," she whispered. The soldiers stepped back in fear. "She's powering up. Commander, she's unstable." Hale pointed his gun at her. "Contain her. Now." Lyra cried out, "Evan," and something inside her snapped. A bright flash of blue light burst under the blanket. Outside, Evan heard her scream. He struggled against the soldiers holding him. "Let me go. She's scared. You're hurting her." The ground shook. The outpost walls glowed. Energy crackled through the air. A soldier inside shouted, "Sir, she's charging. She's going to blow." Commander Hale lifted his weapon and yelled, "Eliminate the target." Evan's heart stopped. "No!" He forced his arms free, breaking the restraint rope. He smashed his shoulder into one soldier, knocking him down. The others tried to grab him again, but Evan dashed toward the outpost door. Lyra screamed again. The blue light was growing stronger, brighter, hotter. And just before Evan reached the doorway, the entire outpost exploded upward in a pillar of blue light. The humans stumbled back. Commander Hale shielded his eyes, and as the smoke cleared, a small figure floated in the air. Lyra. Her eyes were glowing like two stars. Her body surrounded by a spinning shield of blue energy. Evan stared up at her in shock. "Lyra?" She looked down at him, trembling. "I didn't want this to happen." Commander Hale raised his weapon. "Bring her down." Lyra looked terrified. "Evan, what do I do?" Lyra floated in the air, glowing like a rising star. Her body shook violently as blue energy wrapped around her. Her eyes were wide with fear, not anger. She wasn't fighting. She was losing control. Evan stood below her, dust covering his face from the explosion. He looked around. Human soldiers lay unconscious on the ground. Commander Hale struggled to stand up, his visor cracked. Lyra whispered softly from above, "Evan, cannot stop it. My body, it hurts." The energy around her pulsed again, like a heartbeat of lightning. Evan shouted, "Lyra, look at me. Stay with me." Her voice trembled. "I don't want to destroy anyone." "You won't," Evan yelled back. "I'm here." But the energy grew brighter. Commander Hale pointed at Lyra again. His voice was harsh, but shaky. "Carter, step away from her. That alien child is about to detonate. If she does, everyone here dies." Evan turned and shouted, "You point that weapon again, Hale, and I swear, Hale cut him off. She is a danger. Look at her. Are you blind? Evan raised his voice louder than he ever had in his life. She is scared. You made her scared. For a moment, Hale hesitated. Then the ground shook again. Lyra let out a painful cry. Blue sparks shot out, burning small holes into the ground. Evan stepped forward. Lyra, listen to me. Breathe. I'm here. Lyra clutched her chest. It's getting stronger. I can't. Her energy shield flared outward, knocking Hale back again. Evan reached up toward her. Look at me. Don't fight the power. Just focus on me. Lyra opened her eyes and whispered, Evan, I'm scared of myself. Then she suddenly dropped from the air, hitting the ground hard. The light around her broke like shattered glass, scattering tiny blue fragments that faded into the air. Evan ran to her side immediately. She lay trembling, her skin glowing faintly. Her breathing was fast and shallow. Evan touched her forehead. It's okay. You're okay. Lyra shook her head. No, I'm not okay. Something is broken inside me. Evan lifted her gently into his arms. She was burning with heat, like a fire trapped inside a small body. Commander Hale stood up again, wiping blood from his chin. This is exactly what I warned you about, Carter. Her species. Evan glared furiously. Her name is Lyra. Hale raised his weapon again. And Lyra is going to kill all of us if we don't stop her. Evan turned his body, shielding her. You'll shoot me first. Hale's voice grew cold. If that is necessary. Lyra weakly reached out toward Evan's face. Please, don't fight. Don't die, please. Evan shook his head. I won't let anything happen to you. The tension rose like a storm ready to break. Humans on one side, one glowing alien child and the only human defending her on the other. Hale signaled the soldiers. Restrain Carter. Take the alien. Two soldiers moved closer, but the moment they stepped forward, Lyra's body glowed again, brighter than before. Stop, she cried. Don't come near Evan. A wave of blue energy blasted outward again. The soldiers flew backward like dolls. Hale lifted an arm to shield himself. Evan held Lyra tighter. Lyra, calm down. It's okay. I'm not doing it on purpose, she sobbed. My power is waking up. It hurts. Evan felt helpless for the first time. He could protect her from bullets. He could shield her from soldiers. But how could he protect her from herself? Her glow pulsed again and again, each pulse stronger. Evan, she whispered with tears. I don't want to explode. I don't want to hurt you. Please, run away. Evan shook his head violently. I'm not leaving you. Lyra cried harder. You will die. I don't care. Evan shouted. I don't leave the people I care about. Lyra stopped breathing for a moment. Her tiny hand reached toward his face, her fingers glowing softly. You care about me? Evan swallowed hard. Yes, more than you know. Lyra stared at him as if she didn't understand the meaning. She looked lost, confused, fragile. Commander Hale shouted from behind them. Carter, get away. She's going critical again. Evan ignored him completely. Lyra whispered again. I feel warm, like fire inside me. Is this death? Evan held her cheeks gently. No, it's your energy. You just need control. Lyra shook her head slowly. No, I need you. Her body suddenly tensed. The ground cracked beneath her. A giant ring of blue light burst outward, knocking the remaining soldiers back. Only Evan stayed standing because he refused to let go. Lyra screamed and the energy lifted her off the ground again. Evan grabbed her hand, holding on as she floated upward. But her hand was burning hot. The blue light around her arms turned white. Evan, it's happening. I can't stop it. Evan shouted over the roaring energy. Lyra, listen to me. Look at my face. She looked at him through tears. I don't want to disappear. You won't, Evan said through clenched teeth. I'm with you. Promise? She whispered. I promise. The world around them crackled with power. And then, everything went silent. The wind stopped. The dust froze in the air. Even sound vanished. Only Lyra's soft breathing and Evan's heartbeat remained. Her energy stopped expanding. It pulled inward instead, forming a calm sphere around her. Tiny, glowing, and fragile. She floated down into Evan's arms again. Her eyes opened slowly. The glow faded. She looked exhausted, but alive. "I stopped it," she whispered weakly. "I stopped myself." Evan smiled with relief. "You did it. I knew you could." Lyra allowed herself to rest her head against his chest. But then, a faint beeping sound echoed behind them. Commander Hale had activated a device. A red light blinked slowly. Evan recognized it immediately. A remote signal beacon. Hale's voice was emotionless. "I've called backup. A full strike team is on the way. They will take the alien, whether you live or die." Evan's eyes widened. Lyra looked up weakly. "More humans?" "Evan, I can't handle another fight. I'm too tired." Evan whispered, breath shaking, "We have to run." The sky shook with the sound of engines. Huge human strike ships broke through the clouds like metal monsters. Their bright lights scanned the land below, searching for one thing. Lyra. Evan held Lyra tightly in his arms. Her glow had faded. Her body felt lighter, weaker. She whispered softly, "Evan, I don't want to go back. Please, don't let them take me." Evan looked into her tired silver eyes. "I won't let anyone hurt you," he said with a steady voice. "Not now. Not ever." But inside he knew the truth. He didn't have weapons. He didn't have soldiers. He didn't even have time. All he had was courage. Lyra rested her head on his shoulder. Commander Hale stepped forward slowly, his weapon pointed at them. "Carter," he said in a calm but cold voice, "you had your chance. Put the alien down." Evan didn't move. Hale raised his voice. "This is your last warning." Evan held Lyra closer. "No." Hale clenched his jaw. "You're choosing her over your own species?" Evan didn't blink. "I'm choosing what is right." The ground shook again as the first strike ship landed. Soldiers marched out in perfect lines. Armor shining. Weapons armed. Lyra flinched at the sound. Evan whispered, "It's okay. I've got you." But she shook her head weakly. "No, no, Evan. They don't want to take me. They want to kill me." Evan felt the truth in her trembling voice. Humans thought she was a threat. They didn't see a child. They only saw danger. Hale took a step forward. "Soldiers, secure the alien. The Carter resists, use force." Evan turned around, ready to run. But Lyra grabbed his shirt. "Evan, wait." He looked down at her. Her silver eyes were glowing softly. "I have one more power left. But it is small. Very small. I can use it to protect you, not myself." Evan shook his head instantly. "No. I won't let you sacrifice anything." Lyra smiled softly. "You already saved me, Evan. I want to save you too." Before Evan could reply, a soldier fired a warning shot into the air. "Freeze! Don't move!" Lyra gasped and clung to Evan harder. Her tiny body shook with fear. The soldiers closed in. 10 meters away. 8 meters. 5 meters. Evan raised his hands slowly, still holding Lyra. "Stop! Don't come near her. She's injured." Hale shouted. "She is unstable. Capture her now." Lyra whispered urgently. "Evan, trust me." Her hands glowed faint blue. Not explosive. Not violent. Soft. Small. Gentle. She placed her glowing fingers on Evan's chest. "I will hide you," she whispered, "so they can't see you or hurt you." "No." Evan grabbed her hand. "You're too weak. This will kill you." Lyra smiled sadly. "I'm not afraid." She pressed her glowing fingers harder. The world around them blurred. The air shimmered. Evan felt his whole body lighten as if turning into wind. Then suddenly, he turned invisible. Lyra's power wrapped around him like a cloak. Evan gasped. He looked at his hands. He couldn't see them. Lyra whispered, voice nearly gone. "Evan, they can't see you now. Run, please." Evan felt his heart breaking. But what about you? Lyra's head dropped weakly against his chest. I will slow them down. No, Evan whispered urgently. I'm not leaving you. I'll carry you. They can't see me. But Lyra shook her head. No, this power only hides you, not me. Her body glowed again, but this time it flickered like a candle about to die. Hale pointed directly at Lyra. There. She's using power again. Shoot if needed. Evan's heart pounded wildly. Lyra, we have to run together. Lyra whispered softly. I can't, my body. It's too tired. Evan looked around desperately. Soldiers surrounded them from every direction. For ships hovered above. This was a trap with no escape. Unless he chose the impossible. Evan grabbed Lyra's hand tightly. I'm not leaving you, he whispered. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. Then, I will give you my last gift. She placed her hand on his cheek. Her skin glowed bright blue, then white. Evan felt something rush into him. Warm, soft, bright. Lyra's voice became clearer in his mind. Evan, I am sharing my power with you. No, Evan cried. You'll die. Lyra shook her head. Not die, sleep. Maybe a long sleep. I don't know. But I want you to live. A giant flash of light exploded between them. Soldiers covered their helmets. Hale screamed. What is she doing? Stop her. But it was too late. The light burst outward. Not violent, not deadly, but like a shield made of pure energy. It expanded in a perfect circle and knocked soldiers back without hurting them. The entire area was covered in blue mist. Evan opened his eyes slowly. He saw Lyra lying in his arms. Her glow fading. Lyra. No, stay awake. She smiled faintly. You saved me. So many times. Evan Carter. Now I saved you too. He felt tears forming. Lyra, please don't sleep. She whispered her last words before fainting. I trust you. And her body went still. Not dead, but silent, like a light turned off. Evan held her tightly as soldiers got back on their feet. Commander Hale pointed at Evan, confused. Where is Carter? Where did he go? But Evan was still invisible, hidden by Lyra's last power. He looked around once, then whispered, I'm taking her somewhere safe. He carried Lyra in his invisible arms and walked straight into the forest. The soldiers ran in every direction, unable to see him, and Evan vanished into the darkness. The forest was silent again. Cold wind moved gently through the dark trees as Evan carried Lyra in his arms. She was still unconscious, her glow gone, her breathing slow. Evan looked down at her pale silver face. Lyra, please wake up soon, he whispered softly. She didn't respond. Her body was warm, but too light, like she had lost all her strength. Evan pushed deeper into the forest. The shadows felt thick, the air strange. But he didn't stop. He couldn't stop. If he stopped, the humans would find him. And now, Lyra's own people were hunting too. The memory of the giant ship in the sky burned in his mind. He whispered to himself, why did they come? Do they want to take her back? Or kill her like before? A branch snapped behind him. Evan turned fast. Nothing. Just silence. But he felt it. Someone was following him. He moved faster, stepping carefully over roots, hiding behind thick trees. Lyra's small hands rested against his chest, cold but alive. The forest grew darker as night fully settled. Strange glowing insects blinked like tiny stars around them. Evan stopped for a moment, breathing heavily. His invisibility was fading. He could feel the shield weakening, thinning. Lyra's last gift was almost gone. He whispered, just hold on a little more, Lyra. I'll find a place to hide. He saw a narrow cave entrance between tall rocks. It was dark, small, and half covered by vines. Perfect. Evan slipped inside. The cave was quiet, echoing only his footsteps. He gently placed Lyra on a flat rock. Her eyes remained closed. He brushed her forehead slowly. You saved me. Now let me protect you. he whispered. But then, a deep humming sound shook the air outside. Evan froze. That sound wasn't human. It was alien, heavy, metallic, ancient. He moved to the cave entrance and peeked out. A huge floating drone drifted between the trees, lights scanning the ground. Its shape was unfamiliar, sharp, smooth, silver-black. Not human tech. It projected a symbol in the air. The same bright symbol he saw on the massive ship. Lyra's people. The drone spoke in a low, echoing voice. Energy trace detected. Target, Lyra. Status, alive. Evan's heart dropped. They knew she survived. Evan stepped back quickly. No, no, no. They're tracking her energy, he whispered. He ran to Lyra's side and shook her gently. Lyra, please wake up. I need you. Her fingers twitched slightly. Evan, she whispered in a weak voice. His heart lifted. You're awake. Lyra blinked slowly, her silver eyes dull and tired. Where are we? In a cave. Your people are here. They're searching for you. Lyra's body suddenly shook with fear. No, they must not find me. They will. They will finish what they started. Evan leaned close. Why, Lyra? Why do they want to kill you? Lyra looked away. Her voice cracked. Because of the power inside me. I was born with it. A rare gift. A dangerous gift. My people fear it. She hugged her knees weakly. They believe my power could destroy a world. Evan frowned. That's not true. You're not dangerous. Lyra whispered. I don't want power. I just want to live. Outside, the drone's scanning light shined near the cave. Evan covered Lyra fast with his jacket. The drone's voice echoed again. Target close. Prepare capture signal. Lyra trembled and grabbed Evan's arm. Evan, if they take me, you will never see me again. Evan shook his head. I won't let them. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. You can't fight them. They are too strong. Evan stood and moved toward the cave entrance. You're right. I can't fight a whole alien fleet. He looked back at her. But I can protect you. I promised. Lyra stared at him, shocked. No one ever protected me before. A loud sound interrupted them. Boom! A bright beam hit the ground outside, shaking the cave. Rocks fell from the ceiling. Lyra covered her head. Evan grabbed her hand. We need to move. Now. He lifted her again and ran deeper into the cave. Behind them, the drone entered the cave entrance, its lights flickering like sharp eyes. Target located. Do not resist. Lyra cried out. Evan, they saw us. Evan kept running. The cave twisted into a narrow tunnel. The ground sloped downward. The drone fired a stun beam. It hit the wall next to Evan, sending sparks raining down. Evan held Lyra tighter. Hang on. He slid down the rocky tunnel, straight into darkness. He landed hard on a lower floor. Pain shot through his leg, but he ignored it. The drone followed slowly, lights scanning every shadow. Lyra whispered urgently, Evan, there's an exit. I feel wind. That way. Her glowing hand pointed to a narrow crack in the rock. Evan didn't question. He ran toward it. The drone fired again. A beam sizzled past his head. They reached the crack. It was tiny. Evan could barely fit. Go, Lyra, he whispered. Lyra squeezed through the crack like a small shadow. Evan tried next. The drone aimed again. Final warning. Stop. Evan pushed with all his strength. He slid halfway through. The drone fired. The beam hit the rock beside him and exploded. Pieces of stone hit his back. Lyra screamed from the other side. Evan! He pushed harder. Teeth gritted. The drone fired again. This time, Lyra raised her hand from the other side of the crack. A small blue shield flickered into life. Weak shaking. But enough. The beam hit her shield and broke into sparks. Evan's eyes widened. She was protecting him. Lyra! She cried out. Come through. Please. Evan pushed one last time and slipped through the crack. He grabbed Lyra and ran down the slope on the other side. Behind them, the drone tried to enter the crack, but got stuck. It scraped the rock loudly, unable to fit. Evan and Lyra escaped deeper into the mountain. For the first time in hours, silence. Only their breathing echoed in the dark tunnel. Lyra leaned against him, exhausted. Evan, thank you. He held her hand. We're not safe yet. They'll send more drones. Lyra looked afraid, but determined. Then we must keep moving. There is a place very far from here. No human or alien dares to go. If we reach it, we might be safe. Evan nodded. Then we go together. Lyra smiled softly. Yes, together. They walked deeper into the darkness, unaware that far above the cave, another alien warrior landed silently. He touched the cave wall where Evan and Lyra escaped, and whispered, Lyra, we will find you. The alarms kept echoing across the abandoned facility as Jax, Lyra, and the small group of rescued children moved deeper underground. The corridor walls vibrated with every distant explosion. The alien AI, activated by Lyra's memories, was destroying the old security systems one by one. But something was not right. The explosions were getting closer. Jax kept the children close behind him. Lyra walked at his side, her hand gripping his tightly. Even though she was scared, she tried to look brave. The children needed hope, and somehow, Lyra had become their hope. Jax? Lyra whispered, her voice trembling. I can hear something ahead. Voices, crying. Jax stopped. Voices? Human? Lyra shook her head slowly. No, they sound like me. A cold wave passed through Jax's spine. More alien children? He didn't know. But the thought alone was enough to make him move faster. The group approached a massive steel door sealed with multiple layers of alien locks. The walls around it were covered in faint symbols, the same glowing patterns that once appeared on Lyra's skin. Lyra stepped closer. The symbols reacted instantly, lighting up like they recognized her. The door unlocked itself. A deep rumbling filled the hall as the heavy slabs pulled apart, releasing a strong gust of cold air. Inside was darkness. And then a small voice echoed. Is someone there? Lyra gasped. It was the voice of a child, soft, weak, and frightened. Jax lifted his light. The beam cut through the shadows and revealed a room filled with dozens of alien stasis pods. All of them were shaped like the capsule Lyra had been found in years ago. Jax's breath caught. Lyra, these are my people, Lyra whispered as tears formed in her eyes. These are the children who were abandoned like me. Her voice cracked. They left us. They left all of us. She stumbled forward, her hand shaking as she touched the nearest pod. The child inside had the same pale blue skin, the same fragile glow, the same gentle features. But something was wrong. All the pods were still sealed. No movement, no breathing. They're alive, Lyra said softly. I can feel them, but they are trapped. Like I was. A low hum rose through the room as the AI's voice returned. Unit Lyra. The children remain in protective stasis. Emergency protocol requires the presence of a caretaker. You are the last surviving caretaker candidate. Lyra's eyes widened. Caretaker? I'm just a child. The AI responded immediately. Age does not matter. Only the genetic key matters. And you carry the last one. Jax stepped in front of her. She is not doing anything dangerous. But the AI answered in a calm, cold tone. Without activation, all children will perish in approximately 1 hour. Lyra froze. Jax's heart stopped. 1 hour. The pods began blinking red one by one, like countdowns silently started. Lyra's knees gave out, and she dropped to the floor, shaking. I can't save them alone. I don't know how. Jax knelt beside her. You won't be alone. I am here. I won't let anything happen to you or to these children. Lyra looked up at him slowly. But what if I fail? Jax took her hands gently. Lyra, listen to me. You've survived everything. You fought, you trusted, you protected everyone here. If anyone can save them, it's you. Her eyes glistened. Then she closed them and took a deep breath. Okay, she whispered. Tell me what to do. The AI responded instantly. Place your hand on the central pillar. Your pulse will initiate the release sequence. Lyra walked toward a tall, crystalline pillar glowing faintly in the middle of the room. She hesitated for a moment, her fingers hovering above it. Then she placed her hand on its surface. A brilliant wave of light shot across the room. The symbols on the walls and pods lit up like stars. The children behind Jax gasped, holding each other tightly. The pods hissed. The lights flickered. Then, a darker light pulsed through the floor. Jax felt it immediately. Lyra, stop! But it was too late. The AI's voice changed, deeper, colder. Activation complete. Primary caretaker accepted. The stasis pods began opening, slowly at first, then faster. But something else woke up too. A giant mechanical shape unfolded from the back of the chamber. Metal plates moved. Red eyes lit up. Heavy limbs slammed to the ground. A guardian unit. The last defense system of the alien race. A machine designed not to protect the children, but to protect the facility from intruders. And Jax was the intruder. Lyra screamed as the guardian rose to its full height, towering, armed, and aimed directly at Jax. Target identified, the AI declared. Eliminate the human threat. The guardian took one step forward. Boom! The ground shattered. Jax grabbed Lyra and pulled her back. The other children screamed, scattering behind the pods. Run! Jax shouted. Now! But the guardian moved faster than any human could react. It was built to kill. Its arm unfolded into a massive weapon. It aimed at Jax. Lyra's eyes glowed with bright blue fire. No! She screamed, stepping in front of Jax. He is not a threat. The guardian hesitated, the blue fire confusing its sensors. And then, the newly awakened alien children inside the pods began crying. Their voices echoed through the chamber like a chorus of fear. Lyra felt their pain. Their cries sharpened her power. Her glow intensified until she looked like a living star. She raised her small hand toward the guardian. A shockwave exploded from her palm. Pure alien energy that rippled through the entire room. The guardian staggered. Its red eyes flickered. But it didn't fall. In fact, it aimed again, this time at Lyra. Jax shouted, trying to pull her back. But Lyra stood firm. Because she finally understood something. She wasn't helpless. She wasn't abandoned. She wasn't weak. She was their protector now. And with that realization, her glow erupted again. Stronger, brighter, powerful enough to shake the entire facility. The battle had just begun.